How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back. So tonight I want to talk about something really fun. A lot of people refer to October as a spooky season. And so spooky season is upon us here, and I wanted to do something that I want to do for a little while now, and I thought October is the perfect time to do this. Obviously, I want to talk about the Friday the 13th box set and the 12 films that are contained. And a lot of these movies I've seen since I was like a little kid. The first one was released in 1980, so I was 7 years old. I remember a lot of these movies being on like network TV when I was a kid, which is really strange to see this on network TV with commercials and everything. But they were still really scary if you were a child at the time. So these I've always referred to this franchise as it's so dumb but so much fun. That's what I say, and I've looked at all these the 12 films, and it looks like all of them have been profitable, which is really kind of surprising. There was like one that kind of came close to just losing money, or maybe technically did lose money with marketing, but most of the other ones are all very profitable, and so that's why they keep making them. All right, so coming in at number 12, this one I think some people may like this movie. It's very strange how Jason is in this movie. This is one I actually had never seen this movie before until I bought the box set, but this is from 1985. I have A New Beginning. This is also called Part 5. And very strange how Jason is kind of treated in this movie. Very odd, and I think a lot of people probably thought this one could be the end of the franchise. Possibly, it still made a lot of money in the box office. So I think as long as they keep making money on these, they're going to keep making them. But I think let me know in the comments if you like this movie. I've seen some rankings, and this one's kind of surprising that it's not last for a lot of people. All right, so at number 11, this one's from 2002, and the movie is Jason X. So obviously it's the 10th film in the franchise. This one, I looked it up, and this one looks like it might be the least profitable in the franchise. And I think a lot of people were really disappointed with this. At this time in the early 2000s, they were making a lot of like sci-fi horror kind of stuff. I think they did it with like the Hellraiser franchise. I think did the same thing. So I think a lot of people were really disappointed with this. I think some people may have this movie ranked a little bit higher because I think a lot of people love that sci-fi element in the movie, and they like some of the kills in the movie. I think there are some really great kills in this movie. Very, very different kind of idea, even though it's kind of copying a lot of movies that were made at that time. But didn't they make like a Leprechaun movie, I think, in space too? And so it was just a thing they did at the time. It was kind of a trend in horror. All right, so number 10, this one's actually from 1989. It's Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. This one's very, very strange. A lot of people will complain. It has some really great kills in it, but it just the fact that Jason doesn't make it to New York until very late in the movie it makes really no sense. To call it Jason Takes Manhattan, the fact that he's barely in Manhattan in the movie, very strange. But like I said, there are some really great kills in this movie. Kane Hodder's in this one as well. All right, so at number 9, this one's actually from 1993. It's Jason Goes to Hell. This one's very strange. This is Part 9 in the franchise. I think it's a lot of fun. I think a lot of people hate this movie. It's a very strange kind of storyline, but I think to me it's the most fun in my opinion. You saw a little thing at the end of the movie that kind of indicated another horror film icon that might make an appearance, and then he didn't make it into the next movie. It was actually a couple movies later, like Part 11, I think. But still, some of the kills are really great in this movie. All right, so number 8, this one's actually from 1988. It's considered to be Part 7 of The New Blood. This one, it's kind of different. It kind of takes, in my opinion, sort of like the Carrie idea and kind of brings it into the Jason world, But this one is actually the first time we saw Kane Hodder. He's actually that was actually not done on purpose. That numbers 8, 9, 10, and 11 were all Kane Hodder, because I think Kane Hodder is like the most popular Jason person to play that character, and so it's kind of disappointing to have his films kind of ranked so low. But like I said, like 11 to 1 are all movies I really love to watch with all the fantastic kills in the movie. So that's not necessarily a knock on Kane Hodder, because like I said, he's the most popular I think Jason character, and he may be the one that's actually played the character the most times. Okay, so at number 7, this one's actually I've seen some people kind of rank this one a little bit higher. It's kind of hit or miss for some people. Some people kind of criticize this movie a lot, but It's actually from 2009. It's Friday the 13th, the remake. This one's, I think, a lot of fun. It's kind of meshing together like the first two or three films in the franchise, and it kind of has like maybe like it's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of idea. But they kind of did some different stuff with Jason, but it's kind of like a greatest hits of Jason with the kills and stuff like that, where they're kind of bringing back some of the kills from previous movies and kind of mixing them together, and it kind of comes up with this kind of its own idea. And some people may not like the way that Jason kind of travels from location to location in the movie, but I think to me it's a lot of fun though. All right, so number 6, I think this one may actually be the most profitable in the franchise, but it's from 2003 and it's Freddy vs. Jason. This one is considered to be part 11 in the franchise, and obviously Jason Goes to Hell was part 9, and this one's supposed to be a sequel to that movie, but they actually made Jason X in between the two, which I think there's some rights issue or something that was preventing them from bringing Robert Englund into the Friday the 13th franchise. But so much fun to bring Robert Englund into the fold and just bring these two icons together. I think a lot of fans had wanted to see that for quite a while. So I think it's like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's fan service, but sometimes you want to see fan service in a great franchise. Okay, so number 5, this one's actually from 1981, and it's Friday the 13th Part 2. This is the one where they basically Jason he hasn't discovered his hockey mask yet. So, he's he was a kid in the first movie. This one he's actually full grown, and he's very scary. There's a lot of great sequences in this movie. The story is pretty good. The kills are really great in the movie. It's very strange. He's wearing like this sack over his head with holes poked in. So that very strange. But I think the franchise really came into its own on the next one. Okay, so number 4, this one of my favorites from 1982. I have Friday the 13th Part 3 3D. This one's very strange. This is when Jason got his mask. It's very strange. If you watch this movie in 2D, you're not getting the full effect that I got when I was a kid and watching this with 3D glasses on. Very different to watch it, just like kind of like a Jaws 3. Jaws 3 with the if you got the glasses on, you can get that full effect. With Jason kind of poking at the camera and that kind of thing. All right, so number 3, this one's actually from 1980. I have the original Friday the 13th. This one's starring Betsy Palmer. There's Kevin Bacon's in the movie. This is one directed by Sean S. Cunningham. He's the guy that basically created the franchise. I'm not sure if he ever directed another movie in the franchise, but I think he's like a producer on most of these. But this is a lot of fun. I think some people are disappointed when they watch this movie after they've seen a lot of the other Friday the 13th films, just to kind of find out who the killer is. I don't want to spoil it necessarily, but I think some people are kind of disappointed. But I think it's kind of brilliant in some ways. And obviously it started the franchise, so it kept people coming back. But obviously Jason is definitely the key character that people watch in these films. Okay, so number 2, this actually one I watched on Friday the 13th this year. It's from 1986. I have Part 6, Jason Lives. This one's a lot of fun for me because I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. So obviously he has 3 songs on this soundtrack. He has He's Back, The Man Behind the Mask. He has Teenage Frankenstein's a great song. And then he has one song that's not so great. It's called Hard Rock Summer, which is really disappointing. They kind of play it briefly in the movie. But I actually watched Alice Cooper live this year on it was on actually August 31st. And they bring like Jason out on stage, and it's this whole kind of production kind of thing, and it's a lot of fun. So for me, I have it at number 2. All right, so number 1, obviously I have for 1984, The Final Chapter. This one's a lot of fun. It has Corey Feldman's in this movie, and it's part of one of the things that really made him a star. Obviously, Lost Boys and Goonies are those movies too, and not his his band that he plays in now. I think that's kind of sad in some ways and kind of funny. But as Crispin Glover is really great in this movie too. They know his famous dance in this movie is a lot of fun. But for me, I watched this one on Friday the 13th as well. So I watched Part 4, Part 6, and Part 7 all in one evening on Friday the 13th this year. So that was a lot of fun, kind of revisiting these movies again. So that's why I have it at number 1. Okay, everybody, I really appreciate watching this video. Obviously, leave in the comments, let me know how you would rank these, because I've looked at other rankings and they don't rank them exactly the way I do. And so there's really are no wrong answers to these. You kind of like what you like, and that's fine. Let me know how you feel about the ranking in these. Let me know how you feel about the franchise. Maybe you don't like the franchise at all. That's possible. So not everybody's going to be a horror movie fan, but please, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. Please put a thumbs up on this video. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. And everybody have a great one.